What made you finally stop being a good wife? When I got married, I thought I was entering a partnership, and I knew it would be hard sometimes, but I believed it would be full of love, understanding, and respect. And I thought that if I gave my best, I'd get the same in return. But somehow, in between the wedding and the honeymoon, I also married a man who never flushed the toilet. And for 2 years straight, I found myself walking into a bathroom that smelled like a neglected gas station with a wet toilet seat and dirty bowl. And every single time, I had to clean up after a grown man who promised to care for me. At first, I asked gently, and then I reminded him. And then I begged, and he would nod, say sorry, and promise it wouldn't happen again. But then he'd do it again and again and again. Some days I cried in that bathroom, not just because of the smell, but because it showed he didn't care about me enough to try. I started to hate the sound of the flush because it meant I was cleaning up after someone who couldn't be bothered. Then one day I couldn't take it anymore. If he could be shameless, so could I. And I stopped disposing of my used pads, and every month, instead of rolling them up and hiding them like they were a crime, I left them right on top of the toilet lid, neat and easy to see. The first time he screamed my name like he had seen a ghost, and he was furious, shaking with disgust, and stormed into the room yelling. But I calmly told him I forgot. And a month later, I did it again. And that time, he completely lost it and called me mean names I still hear sometimes when I'm alone, and told me I was filthy and had no respect. But I snapped and reminded him, not with tears this time, but with fire in my throat, that I had flushed his mess for 2 years and soaked our toilet seat daily and cleaned it silently and begged him to stop. But he chose not to, so I stopped choosing silence. We argued so loud that neighbors knocked on the door and stood in the hallway while we yelled back and forth. And when they asked what was going on, he told them I had disrespected him. But I asked him to say how, and he stayed quiet and stormed out. I thought it would stop there, but it didn't. And this man went to my father's house to complain, and told my parents that I was messy and left used pads out for him to clean and twisted the story like I was trying to ruin his life. My mother called a family meeting the next day, and I showed up thinking maybe they'd listen, but instead they attacked me. My mom yelled so much I felt like a stranger and told me I was ungrateful and should feel lucky, and that her husband, my dad, never flushed a toilet in 35 years of marriage, and she washed his stained boxers because he didn't always wipe properly. She told me a good wife doesn't complain, but stays quiet and flushes the mess and smiles through it all. I sat there silent, realizing that no one was coming to help me. Not my husband, not my parents, and not even the truth. At the end of it all, they asked me to call him, beg, and promise not to disrespect him again, because if he sent me away, they wouldn't take me back. Now, I still flush the toilet, but not because I accept it, but because I'm planning, and one flush at a time, I'm saving myself. And soon he'll come home to an empty room and a smelly toilet.